Welcome to the Talk Show with Debby. Well, today I want to talk about the right of people living with disability to vote during any political election has been denied. Yes, we all know that people living with disability do not usually vote during election. They don't include them. Inclusiveness is not given to them to vote during election, which is not good, which is not right. I mean, how can you deprive people living with disability not to vote during election? It's not only in Nigeria, it's happening in so many countries. We are being deprived our right to vote in any given elections. Why? How do you want, how do you want to develop the country with that? When some people are voting, only able people are only allowed to vote. But people with disability are not allowed to vote. The same thing is happening in education for them too. Only few are going to school. Does the government even care about them? I mean, this is one of the reasons we are facing discrimination in this society. Because we are deprived of the right. We are deprived of many things in this country. How can people living with disability not vote during election? You know that we have different kind of disability. But they all have their ability. So they should be allowed, they should be given the right to vote in any given political election, no matter how. They should be able to cast their vote, to vote for who they want to vote for the person they wish to vote for the candidates they need, the one they like. You can't deprive the right of certain citizens not to vote. You know, there's a lot I ever think of it that even if people living with disability should be given the right to vote in any given election, it will develop the country, it will help their campaign and whatsoever. But no, even in education, they're not given the right to go to school. Most people, they should live off in the street begging, becoming a liability to the country and to themselves. When you don't help people living with disability to develop themselves, to help themselves to grow, how do you expect them to grow? That is one problem on its own. We keep allowing ourselves to get carried away because these people living with disability, we think that they are not capable of doing anything. We think that they are not capable to run for any political election, for any political seat, for any political position in the country, which is not so. We have many people living with disability who has the capability, even more capability than the able people, who are ready, who want to be in political position, but they are being deprived of that. How can you just say that people living with disability cannot run for any political position? I mean, you're not the one that caused it. This is one of the things that we're facing. Why do people living with disability face discrimination? Because the government are not helping in any way. They are not doing what they ought to do. They are not helping. They are not helping them to grow. They are not developing them. You should give them the right to go to school, to be able to run for any political position in the country. It will help. You just need to develop them, you train them. A lot of them have the begging. They think they are liability to themselves and to the country. That is not what you want. Everybody needs to work hand in hand. Everybody needs to be united. Everybody is useful. Nobody is useless. Like I always say, nobody is useless. Everybody in the whole world is useful, except you want to render yourself useless. The government should help in helping people living with disability with the good quality education they need to be able to, to develop them, to train them to be a leaders too. They can be a leaders. They are also the youth of, they are also the future of tomorrow. You don't look down on a person because of he or she has something that disfigure them. No. Everybody has their capability, and we should work hand in hand in order so the country can grow and develop. We can't keep these people aside. No. When you develop them, you train them, you see, them too will be happy, they'll be useful, they will do more. But when you just keep them aside like they are nothing, how do you want them to be useful? How do you want them to contribute to the country? Most of them are being used for theft, for robbery, because they've been manipulated. The government are not paying good attention to them. And you say that we don't deserve to vote, we don't deserve to run for any political position in the country. No, we deserve it. It's our right to vote, and it's our right to run for any political position in the country. Just because someone is sitting down on the wheelchair doesn't mean that it is not able to do things. Yes, we understand. But there's some things you can't compare what the brain can do. The body is different from the brain. What is in the brain, that is what you want to use. Not what is in the body, what is in the brain. When you have a sound mind, you're saying that we should not vote. Why shouldn't we vote? Why shouldn't we be giving good education? We are somebody too. We are being created by God. So the government should do something about it. The right of people living with disability to vote in any political position should be granted to them. Good education should be given to them. They should be included in any political position. Our opinions matters. Our voice matters. We all have ideas, and we should all bring it together to make this country grow, to make the world grow. We should all help one another. Assuming the government was doing the right thing at the start, it wouldn't be like this. But since they're not doing the right thing, that is why it keeps getting worse and worse day by day. There's no complex problem. I said this before. the only a problem becomes complex when we refuse to do to look for a solution to the little one on the ground, and it becomes complex. They're not helping. Most of those people living with disability, they're out there. Most of them are liability to their family, to the world, to the country, because the government is not helping in any way. And our right to vote or to run for any position is being denied. When we're not giving good quality education, when there's no good facility in the country, when no company is ready to employ people living with disability in the country because they think they are useless. And let me say this, nobody is useless. Everybody is useful in their ways. You need to develop these people, you need to train them, you need to give them what they need to be useful to themselves and to the country, so they can be able to contribute to their country. But when you just keep them aside, like they are not in them, like they are not part of the country, like they are just maybe alien from another world, how do you develop a country? You think it's only able people that is useful? Both people living with disability, they are all useful. We should develop this country. We should help one another to develop this country. We should contribute in any way we can to develop the country, to help the country. We should be united. We should be united with one another. We should love one another. Help in any way you can. Be of help to anyone you can be of help to. That is one way you're helping your country. They are still underdeveloped for so many years. Nigeria is so blessed with many things, but we are not using our resources. Instead, we are using our own resources with pain. We are using it to struggle. This is very bad, and this is not good. We don't even have light. We don't have fuel. Everything keeps compiling. Nothing is moving forward. I don't want to develop the country. This is bad. It's bad. Please, we should learn how to develop our country. We should contribute to our country. The leader should do something. Do you sit down there, make decisions that will be favorable to people in the country, that will be favorable to you as well? Because one day, no matter where we go to in this life, Nigeria will still be our home, our place of home. No matter where we go, Nigeria will always be our country, and we cannot run from that. So it is better for the government and the citizens to start doing what is good for the country before it gets too late. Thank you all. I will see you all in my next video. God bless you all.